Hey guys, welcome back to Thread and Glue Designs. Today I thought we would do a little watercolor painting of this little worm that I found on Pinterest. So I sketched him up and I took away most of the graphite so it wouldn't smear. I'm going to use these handmade watercolors by Honey Watercolors. And I'm just going to put a little bit of water. That's all that's in this bottle. I got this bottle from the Dollar Tree. There were 2 in a pack. So I'm just going to wet each one of these just so it gets started. It doesn't take much because these colors are quick to wet. So I'm going to wet my brush. And first we need a green. And to do a green, we need to mix Azo Yellow and Phthalo Blue. So I'm going to take a little bit of the Azo Yellow. Put it on there. Rinse my brush out and get a little bit of that phthalo blue that's on there and mix them together to see what I get. Now that's a really dark looking green there, if you can see. I don't want a dark green. So I'm going to need a whole lot more of that Azo Yellow in order to get the color that I want. I should have started out with more of the Azo Yellow and less of the blue. But you know how things go. Okay, that's getting better. It's a little lighter. It's not quite light enough though. So I'm going to redo that. And I think I'm going to just start a new pile over here with that nickel Azo Yellow. And just a touch of that blue in it. Just a touch, not much. And mix that together and see what we get. Well, that's even darker. I don't want that dark, so I'm going to put more water in it and see if I can't lighten it up that way some, because it's just too much. Yeah, that's better. I put just a touch more of that yellow in it. I just really like the yellow undertone with it. Yeah, I like that. Much better. Okay, I'm going to dry up my little swatches because I don't want them to be warping my page. This is mixed media paper. It is not watercolor paper. So keep that in mind. I'm going to get a little bit on my brush and we're going to start painting this little guy's body. He's just too adorable. I couldn't help but try to sketch him up. I did not probably do it justice, but I will have him in my book nonetheless. He's just so stinking cute. And I don't want too much water, and this brush is a very thirsty brush. I probably should be using a less thirsty brush, but I wanted to use this one. I'm trying to get used to it. I figure we'll do a mixture of watercolor and colored pencils today and see what we can come up with. This is just going to be kind of a base layer to get some color down on him. I just loved him. He was just so precious. I'm not sure who the actual original artist was, but I don't know how people come up with these cute little designs for characters. I try to think of stuff and it just doesn't happen like they do seem to. I'm sure they get inspiration somewhere to be able to do it, but you know. His little forehead is all scrumbled up. I hope you guys have been having a good time since I last met with you. It's been a crazy week. I was MIA for a few days and I feel like I missed so much. Look at that little cute body. You can already see how cute he is. Trying to keep that a little smooth right there. I don't mind if it gets a little darker on his cheeks, but I would like him to have a nice little smooth snout thing. I don't know what you call it on a worm. It's not a snout, but it's a, you know, that little thing. Okay. We're going to let that part dry, and his little hands, his little gloves, and his little shirt, what color should we do those? Do y'all think? Should we maybe a little bit of that blue just by itself, since it's the same color? Let's see. Oh, it's so pretty. It's gonna bleed if you touch it. Don't touch it, Stephanie. I touched it again, y'all. I did it again. Wash my brush out. Take a little bit of that off. I ran out of paper towels, so I'm using a toilet paper roll. You'll have to forgive me. It's not bad. A little bit darker out here on him. Okay. I am going to get a different brush. This one's just too thirsty and it keeps pulling everything in. There's a nice small one I haven't tried. Let's try it. Okay. Well, he has a bow. What color should we do his bow? I think I'm going to leave his gloves white. And we've got blue and yellow. We don't have red on there for our tertiary. 3 colors. Let's do, instead of doing just that dark red, let's just do this magenta. Yeah, I think I've got too much of that other color flowing over on it. There we go. You don't want it real dark, so I'm going to add some water. I want it kind of pale. It's alright. I'm not like, I just love that. Add a little more water and see if I can thin it down a little more. Okay, let's give it a shot. Yeah, this is much easier to control. Your brush makes all the difference in the world. He's just the most handsome little thing you ever seen. I don't like bugs and stuff like that, but when you can make them this cute, you gotta appreciate that. He's got his little cup of tea. I wonder what you guys have been working on and doing lately. I haven't seen or heard much, but I think it'd be pretty cool to know. Okay, now his little top hat, I would like it to be like a gray or a brown. So I have to see what other colors we got that we can pull out. Got this set from the complexion set. We could make his little hat brown pretty easy. There is a pretty black there. I'll try that. I think that's going to be a pretty one. Oh, it's dark. Yes, I know it's black and it's dark, but I'm going to thin it down and spread it across, I think. That's my plan. Okay, clean my brush out so it's all just water on it. See if we can't spread this out and make it a little lighter and like an old dusty old hat. Yeah, I like that. We'll go in and do these little individual sections now. And we want our black a little bit stronger. And kind of alternate them so you can still tell them all apart. I think I'm pretty heavy-handed with the brush. I think when I see people painting with their brushes, they're so light-handed, they just barely graze the paper. I don't know how they do that. I do not know how. Because I try to barely graze the paper and I still end up smushing it all around. And I pulled too much of that dark in that bottom section there. See if we can wick some of that up. Yeah. And we can just go back over it and pull it in where it's supposed to be. There we go. I did it again, didn't I? There. Okay. Now we can do another darker one. Such a topply hat. It just kind of topples over. I don't guess topply is a word, but it is in my vocabulary today. Oh, he got dark real quick there. Okay, now we got another light one to do. See if I can just spread what I've got on my brush. Very nice. Spread, spread, spread. Okay, now we need to do the rim of his hat. So the inside needs to be, I think, dark, and the outside needs to be light. So we'll work with that. I'm just going to do it all real quick in the light. Then I can come back and add the dark. I don't know, I may want the dark on the outside so it contrasts more against his head. I think I do. So I'm going to do that. Okay, that's a pretty good start on that thing. Well, what color do we want his spectacles? I think black would be pretty good with them, so that's what we're going to do. That's not quite as dark as it needs to be. Let's get a little more color in there. Okay. We'll worry with his eyes with the colored pencils. There. Okay, our little cup needs a color. So let's make it that Namaste color. I like that for some reason. I don't know why I'm drawn to this color, but I am. It's so pretty. I am by no means a watercolor professional. If you are tuning in and do not know this, I am a player in most things. Probably would be the best way to describe me. I like to just dabble with a lot of stuff. Let's make the little plate. Well, I guess it should probably match, shouldn't it? Okay. Can't forget the little handle that's going in his hand. I think behind that's going to be a little bit of this color here. So tap that in because it would be between his fingers there, behind this rounded part of that cup. Okay. I just want to play with that gold. What can I put that gold on? Maybe I can put it in the black some. No, it just makes a mess. Does not showcase that pretty gold. Let's do the feather in gold. It's not really a feather, it's more like a limb or a twig with a leaf on it. We need a little something something to that leaf. I know leaves are green. I don't want it to be green. I'll do green. Fine, fine, fine. You win. Oh, I like how it's spread between it. Up in the gold. I like that. That was cool. Okay. And his little bitty, there's a part in his glove right here that needs some color. Okay. Okay, I think we're going to let it dry and then we're going to break out the colored pencils to do some detail work. So I'll be back with you in just a moment. Okay guys, I'm back. I dried him off screen and the only other thing I did was outline him in a micron pen. So now we're back to where we were. And we want his little body is kind of a greeny color. Yeah. Oh, lime peel. That's a good one. Let's try some lime peel. Yeah. Give him some definition on his little bottom side. These are Prismacolor Premier pencils, if you needed to know that. I always like to know those details. And they're so smooth, they lay down really good. I've tried a few other kinds and I still always come back to these just because they're smooth, buttery feeling. So I guess they're a winner, huh? A little darkness around that mouth to make it stand out. And his little ear. Cutest little ear. Let's color his eyelid. I don't think we even got color on it before. There we go. Now under his hat's going to be a little bit of shading. So let's add some of that there. Each of these little lines is going to have a little shading on one side. And since they're one after the other, it really doesn't matter. It always usually is the underside, but under these glasses here is going to be a little shading. Oh, he's just so stinking cute. Okay, I think that belly we did phthalo blue on. So let's do some ultramarine in it. I know we had 3 little buttons that we need to put in there. We may put some black on that, I think, so it stands out more. Being very light with my pressure, trying my best to not get it very heavy. It's easier to do that if you pull back on the pencil and go more towards the back end of it when where you're holding it. And you can get a little bit lighter grip there. Okay, here's our black. Let's put that on those little buttons. They'll be black with a little blue halo going on. Yeah, that's nice. Okay, well, we have our black out, so let's do our hat. See where we need to put some of that. That underside is always going to be a shadow. Let's do a little bit lightening out, kind of fade it into it more. Remember holding your pencil from way back. Coming up closer to get a darker area here. This is the back end, so it is going to have some shading here. Okay, and we've got a dark band here, so we're going to need a little darker pressure. Kind of help that out there. And our next one is kind of light, but we want it to be a little bit darker down here because it's like overlapping each other, so. Okay, and we're going to do a little bit of blending in. And this one is supposed to be a dark one, but it turned out pretty light, didn't it? We can fix that. It's a pretty light one. A little darker under here. And this little boy is supposed to be dark. I don't know why I said it was a boy. It's so funny. I just come up with anything. Okay, and now we've got our little light section here. Do you want to give it a little more color in there? I think we might even put a little blue in there with that. I really think that might kind of jazz it up some. So let's put a little blue in there. Oh yeah. Kind of give it a little more life. A little bit throughout the whole thing. Not too much, just a little. Enough to give it kind of a little bit of a colorful contrast there. All right, think I like that. Now, what color did we do that bow? I think we did it magenta. So, we're going to do some, this one's called Process Red. Let's add some of that for our depth in there. Get a little bit darker as you get down towards this base because they're pulling together. So you want them to, you want to see that your color is more concentrated there. Okay. And we need to put some eye color on him. So I'm going to do like a light blue. There we go. Give him a little bit of color in there for them eyeballs. Yeah, that's pretty. That looks good for him. Our T. We need to put a color on our T. I'll use a dark brown. Dark umber it's called. There we go. And we'll use this to kind of do our shading with on this cup. And that was gold. I wonder if I have a gold pencil. You see a silver one. Gotta be a gold one, right? I think I found one. Yay! Found a gold. Add some of that gold back in for that cup. That played a little bit darker with that gold. Okay. So we need to set him on something. He's just floating in the air right now. So let's try some different greens. This is grass green. Do we want to just kind of make a shadowy thing, or do we want to, let's do a shadowy thing. Just getting a little color down. We need to introduce some other colors to it, some other greens. Have an apple green here. It's a lighter green. That'll be a good one. The illusion of depth in there. When you do more than one color, you kind of get that automatic depth because you're seeing all the shades and stuff in there. At least you are. I'm not, but Okay, we need another one. Here's one called True Green. It's like a really light green. Got some on the outside to give it double color there. I'm not being very fussy with how I'm putting this down. I'm just kind of getting the color down. I'm sure I make people with colored pencil talent cringe. But, you know, c'est la vie. C'est la vie. This is just my sketchbook for some fun doodling. I'm going to go back to that darker green. Yeah, dark green. And put some more closer to him at the base. Okay, let's flip back over to grass green. It's our next darkest one. We'll pull it out so it kind of shows the blending there. Okay, go in with our apple green. Pull that out further. We really want these colors to just kind of move across. Not to be like, oh, this is one color, this is another. We want them blended so that you can't really tell where one stops and one starts, kind of thing. He's so stinking cute. I don't know why I'm putting this right here, but I am. He just looked like he needed it. Totally probably shouldn't have done that, but aw, I just love him. Okay, back to our grassy area that we're letting him lay on. We need one more color, our lightest color out here, to have all of them blended in together. And you have a blending stick that I got the other day. I was watching a video and they were comparing the different blenders. And I have several of them, but the one that I didn't have that they reviewed was so good was the Derwent one. Where did I put that thing? You know how you put stuff up? I did. I put it up. And now I'm not sure. It's even still in the plastic. How do you lose something in the plastic? I don't know how you do that. Okay, let me pause you and I'm gonna find that. Be right back. Okay, guys, I don't know what I did with it. I cannot find it anywhere. So I pulled out the Lyra one and the Prismacolor one. Don't mind my little tape. I had to do a little surgery, but it's okay. It's okay. Let's try this Prismacolor one. See if it'll blend this very good. It's moving it a little bit around. Not too bad, not too bad. I'm hoping you can see the change as it's going across. It is a colorless blender. It is just meant to blend in the color that's already on there. It deposits nothing extra. No extra color. I'm going over that side just a little bit because I don't want it to be just a harsh jump all of a sudden. So, okay. one side we're going to do the Lyra and one side we're going to do the Prismacolor. So we'll do the left-hand side in Prismacolor. I really wish I could find my silly Derwent one I just bought. I went through all my pencils and couldn't find it anywhere. The one thing to remember is that these colorless blenders will not blend without enough color on the page. You have to have color down for them to be able to move them around. Okay, that's with the Prismacolor blender on this side. And this is the Rembrandt Lyra blender. We're going to do it on this other side. It feels different in your hand, and it seems to give, like, the shading in the two is different. I don't know what it is that they're using in these blenders, but it does make a difference. The Lyra side seems to be more vibrant. It doesn't seem to mute the color down, where the Prismacolor did. That is a big difference in those two. I hope you can see that. I'll go around with this Lyra one with the hat and stuff. Since it was the more vibrant of the two. Remember, I didn't put as much color up in here, so it's not blending as much. It's blending a little. You can see a little bit. It's not a dramatic change by any means. This, we put the blue and the black in. So it ought to be a nice, pretty blend. Yeah. I like this together. We did that red in here on top of the magenta. And we're fixing to do our little cup. A little golden cup. Okay. I hope you guys can see him good. He turned out really cute. Pull you down some to him. It was a fun little project. I hope you guys enjoyed this. We should put a little white in spots, shouldn't we? Let's try this Signo pen before we go. I haven't even opened these. I forget I have them. Oh, they're difficult to get out. There we go. Okay, let me start it down here. Make sure it's writing. It is. So why don't we give him a little highlight down his hat. Maybe a little touch right there. On the brim. And definitely on his eyeglasses. Maybe a little too much there, but he needs little pupils. Her cup has a little highlights on it, I think. It should. I think he is just adorable, guys. I hope you had as much fun as I did. And we'll play again another day. Thanks. Bye. Oh, don't forget to leave a like, a comment, and a share. So it helps YouTube's algorithm to get this video out to more people. That would really help me out. Thanks so much. Y'all have a great day. Bye.